So I remember trying to make my own games in the BASIC programming language, Apple II. They used to have these magazines, like Science for Kids magazines, where in the very back page they would have, like, line by line, you type this code into your computer, and then you will create, Lemonade or some other game, some very simple, math game. So I used to do those because I thought it was so cool. And then later, when I had a Mac, I used HyperCard. I don't know if you remember HyperCard, but I was very into it. HyperCard was basically a precursor to what we ended up calling the World Wide Web. So basically, you could create your own apps with HyperCard. We called them stacks. And they had pages, they had cards, and the cards could link to other cards through buttons. And you could put multimedia stuff on the individual cards. So it was perfect for creating things like maze games and stuff like that. And in fact, one of the most famous a very famous game was created using HyperCard, Myst. If you remember that phenomenon of the 90s, that CD-ROM phenom, that was created in HyperCard. So they were working at the very highest levels of HyperCard. I was working at the very lowest levels of HyperCard, hand drawing little terrible art in a maze game, kind of thing. But I used to, and then I uploaded them to America Online, and it was like, oh, this is a cool thing. But the thing is that I didn't know how to program. Like I had a lot of trouble in school learning programming, and I really felt like that was like a barrier to entry for me. It was like, well, they don't really hire writers, and writing was my passion. That's what I wanted to do. And I think if in college I basically wanted to be a screenwriter. That was like what I had the role I had imagined for myself would be, like, probably on like the writing staff of a TV show or something like that, like an animated sitcom or a TV comedy of some kind. That's what I was thinking in my head when I moved to LA. But yeah, I found a role I think I actually like better, because the thing with comedy writing, with TV writing and screenwriting, is that a lot of it's very formulaic, right? There are books that tell you exactly how to write a screenplay, like, Save the Cat and what have you. It's like, here's the formula that your movie needs to follow in order to sell, right? Okay. Whereas with video game writing, there really are no standards like that. It really doesn't work like that. It's, it's all, we're kind of like, every studio has a different process for how they integrate writing. Every, studio, every genre has different, requirements for what kind of writing is even necessary. And there are really no guidelines in terms of like standard guidelines in terms of how to structure a story in gaming. Sometimes games use movie formulas, but oftentimes they don't. The stories need to often do different things in games. And so it's a wild west, as people in America often say to describe things where people don't know what the hell they're doing. But it's great for me because I love to innovate. I love to try new things and carve my own path, so to speak. And so it's been a really cool role.